Hello and welcome. I hope you're all doing really well today. Just getting everything set up so that we can start. I hope everyone can hear me. Just checking that everything's working. Multiple screens. We had a few technical issues earlier with our audio, so we thought we'd jump on and try again for today. Got my cup of tea here, ready for our conversation. It's been a busy day. I hope you guys have got everything that you wanted to achieve done. Wonderful. Confirmation that now you guys can hear me. Fantastic. Well, let's get started. Hello, welcome back. I'm Michelle, founder of J&B Inspired and host of Nervous System Reset for Caregivers. Today is day 4 of us going live. If you've been here all week, I see you and I appreciate you. If you're joining for the first time today, welcome. You can catch the earlier lives on replay, but you don't need to follow along today. And before I get into today, I woke up this morning to another registration for the Hard Room Words Kit workshop, which is happening on August 13th. To that person, thank you so very much. It means everything that this work is landing and that you've decided to be in the room. If you've been watching this week and you're still thinking about it, that's 2 caregivers who have already said yes. The link is in the comments and also in the description whenever you're ready to join. I'd love to see everybody put in the word caregiver if you're a caregiver or a love heart in the comments so that I know you're here. Yesterday, after our live, someone left a comment that stopped me in my tracks, and I want to read it to you exactly as it was written because it deserves to be said out loud. Silent judgments and immediate assumptions can be present in these hard rooms. Generalities where specificity needs to be on the table. I want to sit with that for a moment because whoever wrote that has been in those hard rooms and they know exactly what they're describing. That is today's live. So let's go there. I want to ask you 3 questions, same as I've done earlier this week. Just notice what lands in your body. Question 1, have you ever felt silent judgment or immediate assumptions in the room, like you've already been sorted before you've even had the chance to explain the full 24-hour reality? Question number 2, when professionals speak in generalities, like let's monitor, it's probably fine, that's common, bloods are normal, do you struggle to ask for specifics? What exactly are you looking for? What is the plan? What happens next? And who is responsible and when do we review this? And question number 3, have you ever left a hard room realizing you didn't get the details documented and then carried the anxiety of that alone at home at 2 a.m. with no answers? If any of those landed, please stay with me. I want to share something with you that I think every caregiver needs to hear. This is not just your experience. Research Research shows that the vast majority of people navigating medical systems have felt their concerns were dismissed or completely ignored. And more than half reported being made to feel like they were experiencing what they were experiencing was somehow their fault. And here's the part that I think is really important to understand because this is where I approach this without blame. Most of the time, what caregivers experience in hard rooms isn't deliberate cruelty. It sits somewhere on a spectrum: time pressure, rushed appointments, unconscious assumptions, a system that was not designed to hold the complexity of what caregivers are living and their loved ones. A professional can switch off without realizing it. They can make a decision before all the information is on the table, not because they're a bad person, but because they are strapped for time and working from a single snapshot. The defensiveness when knowledge is questioned, the dismissiveness when the picture doesn't fit the box, the gaslighting when you leave the room doubting your own reality. None of that is your fault. And all of it is something you can learn to navigate, not by fighting the room, but by having the words to bring it back to center. Now, I want to share something truly personal today because hard rooms are not only the rooms you navigate as caregivers, sometimes you're also the patient. Now, I was experiencing physical symptoms. They were life impacting, they were affecting my everyday functioning. Symptoms that had been building up for a long time and that I knew were real and that were part of the follow on from burnout as a caregiver. They were my hang on a second, hit the wall. You need to stop and look at how this is impacting your overall health. So I went to the doctor. Blood tests were agreed to. The results came back normal. The reason I was given for what I was experiencing was female anxiety and being a mother. And I want to name what happens in that moment because I think so many women, so many caregivers will recognize this. When the symptoms don't fit inside the box of what is expected or measurable, and you are handed an explanation that makes you question your own reality or the reality that your loved one is experiencing, that is the seed of doubt being planted. Because you go home thinking, how is that actually possible? I know what I'm feeling. I know this is real. I can see what is happening. But the person with the authority said normal. So, what does that mean about me? And then the symptoms don't improve. At times, they escalate or get worse, or new symptoms start occurring. And you have to go back and you have to advocate again. And the level of self trust and courage required to keep advocating for yourself or your loved one when the system has already handed you a tidy explanation and closed the file is profound. This is not an isolated experience. It happens across medicine. It happens in every area of caregiving when the reality you are living doesn't fit neatly into the appointment window. And it is exactly why the work, and this is exactly why the work that we do at JMB Inspired exists. Everything I've named today, the silent judgment, the assumptions, the generalities, the moment the professional switches off, the gaslighting, the doubt, these are the layers underneath the hard room experience. The Hard Room Words Kit doesn't just give you scripts, it gives you tools to stay regulated enough to notice when the room is shifting and to bring it back to what really matters. To ask for specificity when generalities are being offered, to document the next step before you leave the room, to leave with something in your hand instead of carrying the anxiety home alone. The Hard Room Words Kit is live on August 13th. It's 60 minutes and we build your kit together. It's $49 and there is a 14-day replay included because as a caregiver, I know that every day isn't the same. And sometimes we need flexibility to come back and watch at a different time so that we can attend to our caregiving roles. I want you to know that you can come as you are. You don't have to have the camera on, and you can just listen. We have caregivers already registered, and I'd love for you to be in that room. The registration link is in the notes below this live. I'll also include it in the comments, so please go and grab your spot. Tomorrow, I'm going live again, and I want to hear from you. What is the generality you keep being handed that you don't know how to push back on? What is the assumption you feel in the room before you've even opened your mouth? Drop it in the comments, keep it general to protect your privacy, and I'll speak to it tomorrow. And if you haven't downloaded the Caregiver Punch Card yet for the Caregiver Nervous System Reset podcast, that is in the show notes on our podcast. Listen your way to 10 stamps. Email your completed card to us at support@jmbinspired.com and go into the draw for a caregiver gift. This is our thank you for the tireless work that you do as caregivers that often goes unrecognized. You can access the punch card from the start of season 3, one episode at a time, no pressure, and meeting you where you are right now. Thank you for being here today. If today landed for you, if you recognize yourself in any of it, that recognition matters. You are not imagining it, you are not being dramatic, and you are not alone. The registration link is in the comments and it's also in the description. Come and join me on August 13th. I'll see you there. And I'll see the rest of you back here tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope you have a lovely, wonderful evening.